Hey, I'm Alexandra Harbushka, founder of Life with Herpes. Today we're going to talk about if you can get married with herpes. So over the years of working with the Life with Herpes community, I've heard from people from all over, and it always breaks my heart when I hear people saying, I never got married because I have herpes, or I haven't dated in 20 years because I have herpes. I hear things, I never had children because I have herpes. Now that whole children thing is a whole nother episode, so we won't go there. We're talking about marriage, dating, love, all that right here. And that just absolutely breaks my heart, because here's the thing. Having herpes doesn't stop that love. Like, the emotion is still there, right? Like, because you have herpes doesn't mean, it's not like an if-then, like if you have herpes, you're not capable of love. Like that doesn't work that way. So there's no reason why you're not deserving of love. There's no reason why you can't go out and date. There's no reason why you can't go out and get married. The thing is that we hold ourselves back. We choose to hold ourselves back with our herpes diagnosis. The reason why is the fear of rejection. The reason why is the fear of telling somebody. The reason why is the fear of people finding out you have herpes. That's what holds us back, or the fear of giving it to somebody, right? These are all just fears that hold us back, that keep us in the stigma. So again, back to like the people that have told me I haven't gotten married. This is something I wish we could have talked about. I wish there would have been this support group for them. I wish Life with Herpes was there for them to break out of that and get out there and learn to tell their partners and learn for that. Now, yeah, rejection it's inevitable, right? We get rejected all the time. Can you get rejected by somebody you put yourself out there for because you have herpes? Absolutely. Did it happen to me? Absolutely. Will it happen to you? Probably, right? It's pretty inevitable that you're gonna get rejected. Well, you're gonna get rejected regardless, right? You're like, not everybody you like is gonna like you. But because you have herpes, yeah, you might. But here's the thing, you have to believe in your heart of heart and your core that they were not worth your time. Because if they're not willing to take on a skin condition, then think about other things in life that they wouldn't be willing to take on, to fight for you, to love you, to support you, to be there for you. You may have just given them a really low-hanging fruit reason to get out of a relationship, right? Like, let's face it, if they're not that into you and you're like, yeah, I have herpes, they'll be like, peace out, I'm out of here, right? So I totally get it if they're not that, they're just, if when you're not into somebody and they give you a good reason out, yeah, of course you're gonna take it. I've taken it, right? I'm guilty of it. I've taken reasons out of a relationship when someone gave me a really easy reason, right? So that fear is there, but here's the thing. You just have to know and trust that there is that person out there that does love you, that does not care that you have herpes, that does not care that you have outbreaks. I can speak about my marriage, right? So I'm married, my husband does not have herpes, and he does not care one bit that I have herpes. Like, it's not even a question. It's not, like, doesn't even affect our marriage. Yeah, are there times that we can't have sex because I have an outbreak? Yeah. Yeah, was it like, you know, for me to tell him I had herpes, was it a little like awkward conversation? Yeah. But here's the thing, there's other awkward conversations we have to have in our marriage. There's other times in our marriage that we don't have sex for whatever reason. You don't feel well, you're tired, at my period, whatever it is, right? Like, there's things in life. So just by placing it on herpes and not to get married because you have herpes, or not to have a relationship with someone because you have herpes is putting your hopes and dreams into this little virus. Like, and it's just a skin condition. So I know you're like, okay, Alexandra, yeah, you got married, it's fine, blah, 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 blah. You know, you're in a happy marriage. But what I've done, because I'm gonna back that one up. So it's one thing to hear it from me about talking about my marriage and how herpes doesn't play a role, but it's another thing to hear it from my husband. So what I have done is I have interviewed my husband, Bill, and he has talked about what it's like to be married to somebody that has herpes. So we get to hear about what his feelings were, what his thoughts were, Does he think about me having herpes while we're having sex? Like all this intimate stuff. So we put it together in an interview. I thought it was a fun interview. So I'd love for you to check it out. I have it linked for you. And of course, if you're like, I want to hear more, Bill's going to be at our live retreat coming up. So he's going to be speaking live about it. So you want to book your seat. All right.
Gee, sorry.
That's fine. I was at a...
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, sorry about that.
Yeah, okay. You're fine. So the bottom line is that we hold ourselves back from marriage, from whatever it is, because of fear. Fear, fear, fear. Fear of telling a partner, fear of rejection, fear not knowing how to tell our partner. And so what I've done is I put together a toolkit of how to disclose, how to tell your partner, what to say, how to say it, all this. So I'd love for you to check it out if this is where you are in your journey with herpes, right? I want you to get married if you want to get married. I want you to fall in love. I want you to have a beautiful sexual relationship with the person of your dreams. So it is totally possible. I have everything linked for you. All right, I'll see you soon in the next video, and I'll talk to you soon. So if you really enjoyed this interview with Bill, which of course I did because he's my husband, of course I enjoyed it. But if you really enjoyed it, I really want to invite you to check out some other episodes I've done that talk about how to keep your relationship hot, some tips to being like sexy with your lover, like all this fun stuff, right? Just because we have herpes does not mean that we cannot have fun, does not mean that we don't have an intimate relationship, does not mean that you cannot date, does not mean that you can't get married, all of that stuff, right? So that is all 100% false, and I talk about it on this month's YouTube videos. So I'd love to invite you to check them out. They're somewhere linked for you. Go to YouTube, check them out. And I hope you enjoyed this interview with Bill as much as I did, because of course I loved having my husband on the show. All right, bye.